Okay, so I'm about to cast on for my sock. First thing that you want to be sure is that you've got your shorter cable on and your longer tips, and they're nice and tight. So there's a little pinhole there in the top of the cable, which this tool here goes into. So into that hole, and then twist them just to tighten. You don't want them coming off while you're knitting, so just make sure they're nice and tight. Okay, and then the next step is to do the long tail cast on. I'm going to cast on 56 stitches, so I grab the tail of my yarn and I'm going to wrap it around there 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 times. Keep my fingers at both ends so I know that that length there is for 20 stitches. So I'm going to go basically 3 times that length and then add a bit of extra yarn for good measure. So that should be the length of tail I need. Do your slip knot, pop your needle through there, and I am doing the long tail cast on, which means that it's going to be a nice loose cast on, which is important for the top of a sock. So I've got my tail of that I measured out on the left, yarn on the right. Put your thumb and forefinger between those two pieces of yarn into a V shape or a slingshot shape. So this is the slingshot long tail cast on. So I've got my thumb and forefinger in there, and if I turn them up, I create, you see that, like a slingshot look. And then with the needle, I hook that left hand thumb, and then I go across and hook that right hand thumb and let it go. And don't pull it too tight, you just want it firm but not tight, because you want your stitches to slide on the needle. So across to my left thumb, up and over to the right, and let it go, and carry on. It's actually really fun to do this when you get used to it. Okay, so left thumb up and over, right finger, slide, left, right, slide, left, right, slide. So carry on, and we want 56. One, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. Okay, so there's my 56 on my needles. And I'm going to do a thing called the invisible join. You can see how much tail I've got left, so that was pretty accurate. Okay, I've now cast on 56 stitches. I'm just going to pop my stitch marker on there, and I'm going to just cast on 1 extra so that I can do a thing called the invisible join. Turn my needles over. Make sure that there's no twists. So to do that, we make sure that the bottom of all our stitches is facing inwards, like that. That extra stitch that we cast on, we are now going to slip it over to our right hand needle, and then take the stitch behind that one we've just slipped. I'll just slide these up a bit and pass it over, and drop it. Okay, so we've effectively decreased that extra stitch now. Oops, I've got these a bit tangled up. Then we can slip our stitch marker over onto the right hand needle and we're ready to start. And we're doing a rib to start, so if you're worried about the gap between the join there, you can just tighten those up as you come around on your next round. So this marker here is our beginning of round marker, and it's always a different colour to any other markers that we might add in there, so we know where we started. So we're doing a 2x2 rib for the sock, so I'm going to knit 2, purl 2, and carry on back around and repeat. The first round is the hardest. It sort of feels a bit fiddly, but then you get used to it, and just keep moving your stitches around so that it's nice and easy for you without kind of stretching your work. So I'm doing purl, and once you've done that first round, you'll be away and you'll find it actually quite easy. Okay, and that's it.